it's fine, and I think it's valid, and I think that if you're a 13-year-old and Kon-El is your first Superboy, Connor Kent is going to be the guy you care about forever. It's the same as like when Green Lantern, when Hal Jordan went away and Kyle Rayner showed up. There are people who think Kyle Rayner is the greatest character in the world, which is great. It's okay for Hal to be there too. It's okay for all these things to exist in a timeline, or even simultaneously. If there's a Green Lantern cartoon show on TV, it's okay for it to be a little different than the comic books. That kind of stuff is all fine. You know, people have made room for different art styles on comics. We did 4 Superman books every month. There's still a lot of Superman books. They're not drawn by the same guy, so there's a lot of room. Sometimes Batman's ears are really long, sometimes they're really short, sometimes his cape is really long, sometimes he's got a yellow oval, sometimes he doesn't. They're all Batman. These are all things that, you know, can exist and coexist. The concepts. The audience can make a distinction. They know which one they're watching if they know about all the versions. If they don't know about all the versions and Connor Kent is their Superboy, then he's their Superboy. So I think it's okay for all these concepts to be expansive and not exclusive. I think they don't need to exclude each other. That said, and having been in on creating the first Superboy that wasn't Superman, we really took it seriously, the concept that Superman was the sole survivor of the planet Krypton. We didn't want to, our Supergirl was different, and the Superboy was different. Everybody was different. They were allowed to wear the S because they'd earned it in Superman's eyes somehow, but they were not just cookie cutter versions. Superboy is the same as Superman, so he's already diminished by being the same. Supergirl was also Kryptonian and was the same. They're also, you know, and then there are people who think that the only real Supergirl is the one who came from Krypton. That's fine too. Those are all, you know, well and good. Our thinking when I was working on the books was different than that. And it was to really emphasize that Superman was alone. It made his story a little more tragic, which I think the best heroes do have an element of tragedy in their stories. And they overcome that as well. And really, even when I was a kid, there were so many survivors from the planet Krypton that there was no tragedy anymore. It's like he had cousins, he had dogs, he had a whole city of people in a bottle that he really should have helped and get out of the bottle, but he didn't. And it's like there was 1 million Kryptonians. That doesn't make him a sole survivor anymore. So I do think that all the Superboys are valid in the context of their own story, and I think there's room for everybody. I know for a fact that there are other Michael Carlins in this universe. In fact, I went to high school with one because I used to keep getting his marks, and he was smarter than me, and I didn't like that. There's another Michael Carlin who works at Warner Brothers here, and I got his bonus one year, and clearly they like him better than they like me. There are, on Facebook, there's 1 million Mike Carlins. It's just like, it's okay for there to be another Superboy out there. It doesn't mess anything up. Unless you got the other Superboy's bonus, his Christmas bonus, and that's not so good.